right.
This is
And
where
we,
everything's gonna break.
I hope not. I think so far so good. This is our second time doing this, but we have Diggs here tonight. Welcome everybody to episode 53 of the Leonis Report. Back for a very fun podcast. That props to JB. We happen to see that Diggs made some War of the Visions content over the week, and obviously piqued our interest. Figured get you back in the room and see how you're doing and catch up on things. But yeah, Diggs, welcome. How's life, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I just realized that I have you playing on my other screen right now, and I am hearing three versions of you.
I th-
Um,
I think that was me. Sorry, guys.
no, no, it was all me. We're still figuring it out and getting back into things. Shout out in chat to Iron Sky. Good to see you again. But yeah, things are great. This is the first collaboration. I am not prepared for a collaboration, so you guys are getting me pretty much as raw as possible, which is saying
like that.
something because let me tell you, a lot of guys have gotten me as raw as possible in the last 4 months.
Oof.
Lucky us. We'll take sloppy 50ths.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, I don't know where to start.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, JB figured. I know it was your idea
Yes.
to bring him on. Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, you were like the OG War of the Visions content creator. We've had quite a few, content creators on and kind of as guests. So, when I saw that you were kind of putting out a couple videos here and kind of returning to things, I thought we better grab you now, like while the iron's hot. And I think it's a lot of people that remember all the daily videos and kind of that daily cadence that you kept up for so long, and you were kind of a big pillar of the community for a long time. So I think a lot of the viewers are going to be happy to see you here today.
Yeah, I would say it's awesome to be back. War of the Visions is always like home for me, so it's always like a homecoming, but I don't want to ever give the impression that I'm going to be back or that I'm going to stay. That's not my intention. It's one of those things where like all of you guys are doing incredible. Oron J's rocking it. You two are around. I've never met KT7, but he makes some good ass fucking content, so he's
I'm
around and he's
I'm a
doing
fan of
good shit.
KT70. I am very envious of a lot of the stuff he puts out. It's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I mean, like it's a thing where like you guys are all doing it. You're amazing. My goal is to do something else, and try and adjust and change my style. But in the interim, I mean, it was you guys who brought me back. Not you two specifically, but specifically Oron J in his video. And then from that, the community reached out to me, and I'm really grateful that they've kind of inspired me to come back to content creation, even if it's not full-time and professional. It's kind of like the right time. I'm finally settled in and back to where I kind of need to be. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
my job is solid. It's no longer like the marijuana industry is always going to be wild, wild west. But it's like when you're a store manager and you're taking over a store, like the store is finally stable. Like I'm not getting phone calls in the middle of the night or anything. And I'm actually having time to come back and do this. And when I saw JB, not that I don't want to see you, Will,
Of course. Of course.
but I really wanted to do something with JB because JB has been a viewer of mine since the beginning. And he's one of the content creators I've seen and known that I haven't actually gotten to do anything with, because he started after I basically left. And I'm sure it sounds like he's doing wonderful and he's having fun. But yeah. Yeah, and also for those of you guys asking me why I'm in a dark cave and where the fuck my lighting is, y'all, I am on a 30 FPS camera right now, or on a 30 FPS webcam. Giant took the camera in the divorce. Okay, it was technically his camera in the beginning, and I mean, yeah, we're doing what we can. Okay, look, I mean, look at JB's cam. Look how fucking crisp it is. Like we were literally talking about this in Discord just before. So
Yeah. So
No, that's
go ahead.
that Oran J video. I want to shout that out and shout out to Oran as well. It was a really nice trip down memory lane for me. Just kind of, you think back to those first year plus of the game where everybody was in lockdown for COVID. Everybody was just screaming for content for this game and other games, and you turn to YouTube or Twitch, and there were so many folks that kind of have gradually left the game over the years, and it was kind of good to kind of remember some of those those people.
Well, I think also, just to tag along to that, I think the perspective we also need to have is that it was a global pandemic. And so what we saw was a community grown in the War of the Visions community that was literally like, people couldn't go outside. They couldn't go and see people. For a lot of people, this was their life, right? Like, my life got completely destroyed. Like, I was in college. I was going to study veterinary medicine. Like, I literally had no intention of becoming a YouTuber, and it happened. And, you know, I think a lot of people had their lives ruined, and they kind of, you know, really needed that at home, whether it was through me or whether it was through Oron J or Cabbage or kind of any of the other content creators in that time. And I think it really spawned a unique community that most mobile game communities do not have.
Yeah. We're super tight knit. I mean, that's one of the great things about this. If we didn't have the Discords or like the personal interaction, this game wouldn't be the same, quite frankly. We have such a good, solid group, and I do miss the content creators that have gone. Obviously, yourself included. You know, JB and I, thankfully, we get a lot of positive reinforcement and feedback of what we do. But I always laugh that, like, I'm just a dude with a PowerPoint presentation. Like, I'm not actually doing like real content creation in the way that entertainment, if you know what I mean, that you and RNJ do, and that I miss that from our community in terms of like generating clicks and having that fun with the game. I know I get bogged down with like numbers and analytics, but like, we forget that it's just here to have like fun and chill, and that's part of the social experience.
Well, I think also, just to like throw it out to the War of the Visions content creator community as well, we are much more collaborative than other communities. Like, I'll never forget, to be honest with you, like, I really looked up to a lot of the Brave Exvius content creators, and I'll never forget being told I got taken off of Square Enix stream because they didn't want me on with them.
Oh.
And like I'll never forget that feeling of like, I really looked up to them. Like, I modeled my content after them, and then to get told that they like will take people down and they'll take each other down. Like, what we have in the War of the Visions space is not the same as other gaming communities.
Cutthroat out there.
Totally. I mean, yeah, if you watch my intro right now for any video I upload, it's the first screenshot is you're in it, Diggs. It's like me and Nerd Knight and you from the 3rd anniversary, the 5
Please
with
tell
Solange.
me, please tell me I have clothes on.
I think you do. No, you do. And then the next couple are like, when we had guests, we had like Kayshawn on and DJan and a whole bunch of people. That's one of my favorite things, is how much we've been able to work together. And I feel like it's a fun thing for the community to, I don't know, just, yeah, be together, and it's solidified, and it's a nice thing. A lot of positivity.
Well, I think even for example, like, just to throw it out there, like, no, never mind. I'm not gonna throw it out there, but
well, if you can think of a lukewarm take, we'll take it. Anything's on the table.
No, it's not a hot take. It's not a hot take. It's just getting personal on someone else that I don't want to get personal on, but it's like a good thing, you know.
Fair. But yeah, no. So I know you've been putting your toe back in the water for content creation, where obviously getting yourself back in where you want to be. I know you're thinking about like rebranding and obviously reconcentrating on like maybe what you want to do for content. And I know I just watched earlier today your video of Chicken Little, that video that came out, and really kind of like evaluating where you came from and what you learned. And I think that's super intriguing because obviously like it relates to what we do. But yeah, do you have anything like going? Is this just kind of like, hey, put yourself out there and see what content creation's like and see where it takes you?
No, I mean, there's nothing going on right now. I mean, obviously we have Withering Waves coming out later this month. We have Solo Leveling Arise, which will be officially releasing, which I plan to cover on the non-closed beta servers. So the closed beta servers are going to be their own servers. So I plan on jumping in on a regular server with like the larger community at large. But I mean, this is not my first radio covering other games. This is not like, I think a lot of people see content creation as like, oh, you jump in, you're successful, you can do it, right? Like it's just about getting into the pattern, getting into the behavior. You both know of uploading 1 or 2 videos a day consistently on a steady basis with keywords that people will find interesting. Yep. And that they will find their content. Like, that's the recipe for success across the board. It doesn't matter what game you play. It doesn't matter what you're doing. That's how you get clicks. That's how you get views. And like, it worked with Ni no Kuni. It worked with like Memento Mori I covered for a little bit, and a lot of people don't realize it's one of my most viewed and commented videos, and it's like I made maybe like 5 or 6 videos for it, and like that took off. So like, it's something where like you can come and you can start up again, and I think that's what I'm most excited for. And I think about like all the work like you're doing and all the work JB is doing, and like the War of the Visions community is a really good place to learn and test things out and grow and adjust. And I think as content creators, we often don't check and adjust and grow ourselves because we get into a routine, candidly, that is, you know, it's Tuesday, it's news day. I'm going to pump out my news video. It's going to be the same as I've always done it.
Yep.
You know, it's Wednesday. We're going to be talking about the new unit. I'm going to be putting a poll video up, right? Like it becomes a routine and we don't necessarily strive to improve and grow ourselves very much.
Guilty. I'm part of that. Actually, oh, go ahead, JB. Did you have a question? Because I have a follow up after.
I was just going to say, I always find this kind of discussion interesting because myself with my channel, and I know Will, like we've talked about, we're kind of similar in this aspect. Like I've never really tried to kind of go and hustle like for the you know, any sort of clicks or anything. I just put out information and hopefully people like it. And you know, I'm not trying to make money from it. It's more just kind of a hobby for me, but I do find it very interesting because I can see those wheels and where they would turn and what I would need to do. It's just that I don't have that drive to actually do it, I guess, is where I'm coming from. So it's kind of a different side of the coin.
To be fair as well, that's okay. Like, I mean, that's what Cabbage does, right? And I talked about the differences between Cabbage and his theory on monetization and how I've actually come to kind of align with that in terms of not that money corrupts, but that it definitely influences things. Like we were talking literally on like, we were talking about the last time I saw Will, and we were talking about the end of that stream. And at the end of that stream, I was literally like, Will, you need to get someone, like, don't say yes. Because he, like, they had wanted him to cast a tournament, and he had never done that with them before. And it's literally like, no, like, don't say it, don't, stop, like.
Get the agent, do some due diligence.
Right, like, no.
Yeah.
because people will take advantage of you, and they will literally rob you for everything that you're worth in this industry.
I believe it. It's very hustle. Yeah, I mean, to JB's point, I'm the same. Like, you know, I enjoy content creation, but I really started out, if you go back to my early videos, it was like a teaching channel. It wasn't to say, like, become a content creator. And to this day, I've never said like and subscribe in my video. Like, it's not like a goal of mine. I want people to, like, do it on their own if they think there's value there, which actually leads me to my segue question for you, because I've absolutely considered thinking of covering, like, other games. But one of my fears in covering other games is that, like, having a multitude of, if people are here for War of the Visions for me, and all of a sudden I start streaming a different game, it's going to blend over in the algorithm. People are going to start seeing a game that maybe they don't play in the algorithm. Maybe it's going to lead them to tune me out a little bit if they know my content's not always tailor-made for them. Have you noticed anything, or do you have any, like, advice or feedback on your experience in, like, bringing multiple games into a singular channel, and if there's any, like, I don't know, anything about it?
Ditch them and move on. I mean, no disrespect to anybody by that. And candidly, that's what I did in the past, and that was what was effective, particularly with Ni no Kuni. Like, you cannot, with the algorithm, do two games at once unless you are a reaction streamer and a broadband streamer like Asmongold or any other of those reaction content creators. The algorithm will not support it. That's why you've always seen me come back to WOTV for a little bit and then shift focus, because the essence of keywords, and I think even like tagging games, for example, is so important. And a lot of people like don't realize, but a lot of those things game companies actually have control of as well. So for example, if I tag a game as like War of the Visions in a channel, someone who controls that tag for the War of the Visions official channel can actually remove my videos and censor me from that game if they wanted to. So that is also a factor if you are like in the official Discords and stuff and doing that, making sure you're networking and planning that, because that is what will help you like really be successful when you shift to another game. And I would also say, don't be afraid of failure. I've maybe failed on like 2 or 3 games at this point. But you look at something like Ni no Kuni, where I had, you know, collaboratively over all my videos for War of the Visions, I maybe had 3 million views, but for Ni no Kuni, I'm over 7 million. So like, you think about like that success and that quantification.
Right.
Yes, people will be upset, that you're covering a game that they don't normally cover, but then you sprinkle in things to keep them interested. So like review, for example, like Unicorn Tactics that came out, or review
That's
like
what I was thinking
even
of.
though even though I primarily cover mobile games, right? Or I primarily cover one game, the people who have come with you and want to go on that journey want to check in and follow up on you. So you need to do something to broaden your audience and kind of experiment. Now, that being said, I would think a review would be more useful, because if you're trying to do it professionally, there's nothing that's going to kill your channel faster than playing a single player game and trying to make content out of it.
I believe that. I could see that, right? Unless it's right, because they're watching your reactions. Like, unless the game's inherently interesting, it's very what I don't know. The relationship is with you in the game, not with the viewers in the game. Yeah,
Right.
that's good advice, because that's actually one I was considering. So, like, I was thinking of like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out and Final Fantasy 16 came out. I'm thinking like, well, could I do a stream and like play those games? But I really gave myself pause for all those, or a couple of those reasons that you listed. But no,
And
that's good.
honestly, with like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I'll never forget streaming Final Fantasy VII Remake and having it was Giant had never played Final Fantasy VII before, and then I had people spoil shit in chat for him, which was so
Oh,
sad. Like it was terrible. So that's also something to consider.
good call out there.
Bunch of savages.
I know, I know.
Ridiculous.
But I figure another question here, because I'm sure everyone's super curious. Just generally speaking, War of the Visions as a game, like where do you stand in playing that game at the moment? Do you still like play it all, or you just kind of like install it once in a while? Like, what's your actual like relationship with the game at this time?
Yeah, right now I install it once in a while is usually what I do, and I usually collect Visual and I'll do some polls and I'll use the free polls to get units. I would like to play through the main story because I want to catch up. I want to see young Sir O. I want to do these types of things, but I kind of get whenever I get to that point, I feel like there's no point in continuing the story, because for me, the only point of the game was the PvE interactions and the main story. Like that's why I love to play. I'm definitely irrelevant in guild battle or PvP now, and I feel like I'm at the point where maybe I'll just wait until it's close to death and then I'll play through the rest of the story and maybe leave it at that. I'm not quite sure yet. What I can tell you is if Sir O comes back, I'll definitely be making videos and pulling for him.
He's very likely
Um,
to come back. I don't know how much you've seen, but we're predicting it.
I mean,
yeah,
they have made an artwork for his younger self, and that's already in like an asset in the game. But I mean, there hasn't been any. We don't know like when or if that unit is coming. It probably is, but
and like I look at like holographic VCs have upgrade items now. Units have 140 and like an impossible sync for mind spheres,
Yes.
is it? So like I look at these things and I'm like, I absolutely have a shit ton of mind spheres. So like if I dove in hard, I could probably at least be competitive. And I was when I returned last time with the 140 singer bitch, whatever her name was.
Oh,
Like I was
Addison
able,
Addison
Ray.
Ray.
Yeah.
yeah. I was able to put together like a light comp with her and actually compete in guild battle and be moderately successful. But with all the VCs and the switch from elements to weapons, I have so like keep in mind I have no weapon VCs
Right.
at all.
Right.
As in my account. So I only have the baseline element VCs. And while you could put together a party like that, my understanding is that's not how comps are really put together anymore.
They're not, but they certainly can. I mean,
I mean, it depends like where you play. Like if you're trying to play at the top end of the game, like that, it's job based PvP. But I think like the mid tiers and low tiers are still using elemental
yeah,
comps. So
yeah, I would agree with that.
I can't do mid tier, low tier though.
I'm sure you could. It's always we always joke it's a skill diff at the end of the day anyway. Get your toggles right. And
I mean, my skill diff was already at the bottom anyway because I don't want PvP.
well, if it's any consolation for the PVE, I don't know where you left off in the story, but the story got much better for as of late. Probably the best it's been ever, in my opinion.
I think where I left off in the story was uh it's right after Stern becomes the winged, whatever
Yep.
they call that.
Yep.
And then it was in the flashback. So I left in the flashback Sottily arc, and then I ended when they
Oh.
killed
That's a good arc.
Omega,
That's a great arc. That's the best arc.
or Ultima.
Yeah.
There was something going on with like an Omega or an Ultima, and then they went back in time, and that's when like that's where I stopped.
Yes.
It was like
Oh.
the fourth or fifth time they went back in time.
Okay. Okay. So you were
So
there
there-
at the climax.
Yeah, I mean, so that particular arc is one of the best ones, but there has been quite a bit that's happened since then. But there was also like a hiatus for the story for quite some time, and they've done also like these Warriors of the Crystal stories, which you were there for like the first round of those, were with June and Lucio. And,
Yep.
But they've done 2 more runs of those with additional characters, and that's kind of basically to buy themselves time to sort of finish out and write the story. I'm assuming, but
And
Yeah.
it looks like the Veritas are coming out too.
Yes.
It looks like are they all free? Because it
so
looked like
far
3 of
I
them
mean,
are free so far, right?
free, but I mean, you got to grind for them through various. It's essentially takes 3 to 4 months to get them online.
Yeah.
Each unit.
Yep.
But they are free. Yeah.
Yeah, no, technically for to your point, right? If you're grinding for the Water Veritas, who's an arena-based one, you're likely to be spending some
Oh, fuck my
Visior,
life.
right, to grind in the arena. That's going to be part of it. Then you can wait forever and just take forever to get the unit. That's also an option. But I even know like Earth Veritas here now is Guild War related, and so yeah, if you want to maximize your medals, you probably have to join a little more of a competitive guild, which means you might have to.
No.
So like you implicitly spend to like grind, but realistically you could do it totally free. It just take you much longer.
So you're in the
Yeah, I know
number
Diggs
one.
was a big FFBE player, so
Yeah.
you probably. Well, which was your favorite Veritas of that original story?
Out of the original story, I think Dark was my favorite. I liked,
Reagan?
I liked the unit, the Dark Veritas unit. I just remember the Dark Veritas unit was good. Like that's all I remember, and I think it was because he had the same chaining frames with some other unit. I think I can't remember at all.
Yeah.
It was probably like the Orlando frame, like the Divine Ruination.
No, yeah, I think
frames
it
where-
was. I think it was that's all I remember.
I was Bolting Strike. That's the only one I could ever land on mobile, or whatever
Well, I think-
whatever that skill
yeah.
was.
Yeah, macros were the way to go in FFBE, but I don't think they are anymore, are they?
I don't know.
They have made it easier to chain, where they've essentially like they took like and built on like the easier to chain like bolting strike and some others since then that are easier to tap them out. But the high score players always do use macros still because it's faster and
Yeah.
you get perfect chaining that way.
I could see that. That was never a good feeling for me because I was not a macro user, so that was always 10 steps behind what you could be.
Yeah.
Wow, not a macro user. How did you survive?
I don't know. It's hyper casual. No, I was not. I would do the event content, and eventually, once they introduced the new Neo Vision, that's when I realized that holy shit, I just did like a year and a half worth of character pulling, and none of them are good anymore. Like that was a dagger to the heart when the Neo Vision came out.
I will.
Which is kind of what's been going on with War of the Visions as of late
Yeah.
as well. There has been some significant power creep since you've left.
I do. My favorite character in FBE was Nicole, and I wish we had a Nicole in War of the Visions.
Yeah. I've been dying for more FFBE characters to come here and give them some unique mechanics where we've gone to this, I joke, like, we're in like reverse Uno mode where it's like you got a barrier, well, no, seal a barrier break. You got re-raise, no, well, seal re-raise. You got like, it just is like complete counterplay, and I would love for them to introduce like newer mechanics. I've always said like Mastermind Zon, and you've talked about the aura abilities of like Seaguard and creative things, and they haven't gone that avenue, so maybe in the last year of the game.
I mean, look at FFBE still going, so you still got a solid like 5 more years at least of War of the Visions. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I guess the last like general whatever topic we talk about was just gaming in general. Are you still like gaming actively in terms of like other games too? I know like I mentioned a couple of the Final Fantasies I've been playing, but what's in your repertoire right now if you do any of that?
No, so this is gonna sound really bad. The last 7 months, so like since November, ever since I got my job and moved out, like I have been like crazy midlife crisis. Like we're talking like doing drugs I've never done before, getting drunk, making bad decisions. Like I'll like very not me. And then I kind of like circled back, and I'm still getting high every night, and like that's just part of who I am now, is getting high every night. But like I'm in this process of like rediscovering myself right now, I think, and I'm seeing different people doing different things, right? I've gone through like 3 boyfriends. So like you consider all of this in the span of like 6 months right now. And I'm just kind of now like settling back in. There's some stability in my life. You know, I started playing Rebirth, which I got really frustrated with all the mini games in it.
I'm getting tired. The fatigue of the mini games is hitting hard.
And that's what kills me, is it's the like fatigue of it is like killer.
Yeah.
Like it's not like Kingdom Hearts or other ones where it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna do a mini game and it's fun. It's like now I have to fucking chase the Moogles again. Like every single fucking place I go, chase the Moogles. And I'm probably about 70% of the way through, but I put it up. And like I have games on my list right now. So like I have like Grand Blue Fantasy I really want to play. Unicorn Tactics, which I mentioned, Illudan Chronicles.
That's what I'm
like.
That's the game I was thinking of streaming, because no one's talking about it. But I was on the fence of doing any Illudan content. But yeah, it's good to hear.
And so like I'm thinking about all of that stuff. I've lost hella weight, so I've lost about 35 to 40 pounds. So like I've been exercising, I'm walking my dog. So like it's just a really like interesting time in my life that is different, and I am kind of like getting back to my normal self now. Like I'm playing video games now that I've wanted to play, but finding time is hard.
It is.
I'm happy to hear get out of your I was just gonna say, it's good to get out of your comfort zone, and try new things, and that's when you have those kind of personal growth moments, and maybe it turns you back onto something that you used to do that maybe you stopped doing, and I don't know. I think you can kind of get to know yourself in those situations. So
honestly, yeah, and I did. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dix.
Well, no, I think also like you have to understand I've lived in the country for the last 15 years, and so this is the first time I'm like in Seattle now. So like I can go out. Like it's not like I have to stay home in the woods and like chill, right?
Right. As long as you got Wi-Fi. No, but I know what you mean. I even myself, like post-COVID, obviously there was a whole bunch of like personal changes that you just adjust to the new life, the new normal, if you know what I mean. And War of the Visions is such a cycle of gaming in terms of like daily guild wars and daily this and weekly resets and weekly that like you condition yourself, myself I'm speaking generally, but like condition myself to live my life according to the game. And sometimes you feel it coming out of whack, where there's been days where I'm like up at 4 a.m. doing Guild Wars mock battles, and I'm like, dude, you have to go to work. You literally can't be up right now. Why are you awake?
Yep.
Or you wake up at like 3:30 and the news resets in half an hour, so you like stay awake, and there's just a lot of disruption. So I'm glad that you were able to kind of like take a step away from that, and it seems like both good and bad, like get to where you are, and I'm happy to hear it.
I would say yes, I've taken a step away from that, but it's more like I've combined my 2 lives. So like it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna game, but I'm also gonna go out and get drunk at 1 a.m.
Hell yeah!
And then I have work at like 7 the next morning. Like it feels like I'm in college again, and it feels like I'm going through puberty again. To be honest,
I like it. Honestly, those days were nice days, so I'm envious.
Yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, we will cover, just again for those of you watching the stream at the moment, we will cover a little bit of War of the Visions content here. Nothing crazy. It is a relatively light content week. Just recapping ahead of time what we're going to go through briefly now. We are getting a new armor set, some +6 upgrades. We have a new vision card as part of a raid that's coming out, so we'll really high level talk about that. And then Dark Titan is really the emphasis this week with the vision card and the Esper, so we'll look at that. And then a couple MA2's limit break upgrades. Those we know nowadays are kind of a grain of salt, but we'll do our best to cover them. And so capping that off after that, we will have a fun tier list that we're gonna have Diggs walk us through, and I'm not gonna spoil anything about it yet, but stay tuned for the tier list in just a little bit. But for now, we'll at least bring up some of the raid info here. And so one of them is the new armor that's being released, and I'm sorry, JB, is this the raid or is this reliquiaries?
This is from the raid there,
Okay.
so we're getting it should be Dark Ifrit we're gonna fight. So I'm assuming like June is probably gonna be, the bonus unit.
Yep.
And so Diggs, this effect is one of the new ones that's come in, and
The fuck is this shit?
it's essentially like the replacement for area resist, because they've been sort of like breaking down and deprecating area resist, which has been kind of a staple in the game for forever.
Can't you just stack area resist with this though?
You
You
can,
can.
but they can reduce the imperils have changed a little bit so that even the area resist you stack, they can diminish it pretty significantly now. So you got to compensate with this part of the
So
power
is
creep.
this undispellable?
Yes,
This is undispellable, yeah.
as part of
Got
the
it.
as part of the equipment, this cannot be dispelled, which is what makes this
Oh,
very
sorry,
nice.
but this is present in some of the buffs on the new units too, right?
It is. I'm glad you brought that up. We just started getting more and more of the dispel effect for this new effect. The Final Fantasy VII collab in particular have two noteworthy units. Cloud and Sephiroth can both very reliably clear this buff. So that's kind of that new like rock paper scissors coming into it.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the main item we're going to be grinding Dark Ifrit for, and it's obviously just plate users can wear it. It's a very, very strong item for your King Mont or sorry, Ashen Mont that you just got. Joom can wear it as well. So yeah, I'm definitely going to try to.
As a returning player, can I defeat Dark Ifrit?
With a friend, with a group, right? Raid, why not? You could probably find a group of
You
four.
might
JB,
be
you're
able
not
to.
you're not speaking confidently right now.
I'm guessing he's going to be weak to slash damage and water. So I'm sure you could use like, I don't know if you probably didn't build up Chunak or maybe some of like the other more
I sure
recent
did.
water slashers. You did. Okay.
Oh,
I sure
He-
did build up Chunok like a year ago.
He
Or
would
is that
probably work for
Water
this.
Water Ninja, right?
yeah.
Water Ninja
Yeah.
Chunok? Yeah. Fucking I had like Water Ninja Evade team back in the day. It's the same,
Yeah.
right? Right.
So you could probably
Part of this.
do it like with him and farm, I'm sure. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think that'd be no problem. The raids are like, since 140s came in, the raids are a lot easier.
Yeah.
If you have high level units. So I don't think that'll be an issue.
No, and they have made some nice quality of life raid updates. We're still waiting for one of them to do like the background farm of raids, but we won't go down that rabbit hole right now. But
do I still need to use my auto clicker for him?
maybe
That's not a no. That's not a no and not a yes. So yeah,
Some of
the
it.
answer is yes.
I think you yeah, if you want to chain off a bunch of them, I think so. You can't background farm them, unfortunately, because yeah, there's like the multiplayer element to it.
they've said that's coming,
So-
I think. But like it's been, I know there's more quality of life updates for raid. They've made a couple, but not all of them.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to this though. I know we mentioned it last week. Like right now for armors, there's really only one exceptional one. It's the Maximilian armor, and so this gives you a second one. The Brigandine is fine, but not to the level that it used to be. So yes, absolutely farm this, guys. We'll keep this moving though, so we can get to our frontier list. The other one here is a +6 upgrade to this Gauntlet of Sharp Steel. This was a more recently featured one where this gave a more unique effect that sure, there's some slash res pen, but more than that, it was healing power down upon hit, which we kind of underrated this at the time for that little extra ability. I'm sorry, let me.
Y'all, I would have fucking screamed. This weapon slaps.
So we underrated the
Whoa.
time. We didn't know how good the healing power down could be. It's still not perfect, but when you combine it with what units have, it's amazing. And the big upgrade here is the free 15 element attack. So nice little offensive buff there.
That
Yeah,
weapon's
it's-
sexy.
It's like, I mean, it's an accessory, so anybody can use it. And this
Even
like will
better.
stack like with, like you said, with other healing power debuffs. So that's really the power in it. Like if you have Joom, for example, with her 50 healing power down, she puts this on, now that becomes 60 healing power down. So yeah, I think that there's situational use for it. I'll definitely I'll upgrade it, because that's you get the free modifier in there now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I've used it more than I thought I was going to use it. I think that's my kind of key takeaway. The other thing here we're getting is a MR card from the raid, which is a staple nowadays. Every time a raid swings around, a vision card gets released. Actually, Diggs, I don't know if you've seen this screenshot before. This is a compendium that JB updates. It's like, honestly, one of the top resources in the game for. I'll actually just take a step back.
This
for
actually This actually looks like I had something similar to this where I would store all the assets like this, but this looks way better.
This is
This is
amazing.
fucking awesome.
If you have
Like,
problems with job-based vision
hook me up
cards,
with this shit.
this is for job-based vision cards where obviously you have your compendium of which ones are available, and there are some future ones here. But you can also go if you wanted to say like, let me see the Axe vision cards only. You click on Axe, boom. These are all the Axe vision cards and attributes. We got the units here that are eligible to use them, and so yeah, this resource is very user-friendly. And
Holy shit, it's a good thing I'm not making WOTV content anymore. I'd be getting my ass beat.
it's okay. This is the shining star of what we're doing. We're not doing much
Oh
else.
my gosh, eat your heart out, WOTV Calc.
Right? So, yeah, Votive Calc is unfortunately there's a lot of new effects, right? And so the translation of those effects has become difficult. I'll give a sneak peek of the Urel limit break. We're gonna go over in a little bit here. Where is it? I was trying to read it earlier. That's the ability on Votive
Oh my god.
Votive Calc. And what do you even do with that? Like it's become cumbersome.
And unfortunately, Bismarck doesn't play the game anymore, so he still does update and thank you to Bismarck
Yes.
for still updating things, but he doesn't really have the time these days to invest into it.
Well, he's got
like
a little
like he
he's got a
used
little
to.
kid now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm sure that's a big part of it.
Yeah, he had his daughter was born is either last December or no, it was December before last, I think.
What's the problem? Well, I'm still eternally grateful. I would quit the game if the site didn't exist. Like I couldn't live without this site. So whatever ribbing we give about the translation effects, like this is still
I mean, it makes content creation so easy. So
makes analysis,
Yeah.
makes everything. Makes I have a quite
unless you're fucking JB that can just like create amazing shit.
Well, I rip all the data out of WOTF Calc first, so
right.
I still use it every day.
Exactly. I live with that. So yeah, this vision card, it's an MR rarity, so stats a little bit diminished, but it's the 36% attack. You got some crit evade, some crit damage here. For quest, it's a decrease in AP consumption. So I would imagine for some of these things, like I think of like Guild Raid, right, or even like things where you are trying to conserve some of your AP. That's certainly like a nice little value add. I don't know if it's amazing, but I'm sure there's some breakpoints where that comes in handy. Obviously, the attack stat. I guess you'd have a trade-off conversation on whether the loss of attack percent is worth it, but that's probably a layer deeper than we want to go. But regardless, it's a great sword, sword warrior, and sword knight as the three classes. Obviously, the listed units included. It's nice to see sword warrior and sword knight overlap on another card. I know it's kind of a recent trend lately where the two of those classes have gotten interconnected. I don't have high hopes for this card personally, but it's fine.
So
I think like the biggest thing at the moment is that, a lot of people are trying to mix Joom and A2 with King Mont, who just came in. And there's really only two cards right now that you can use, which are the Voldisk card and the Final Fantasy V vision card. So this one gives you a third option. It's another offensive card, but it's pretty decent. You got the crit damage and attack. I'll probably use it specifically for that team, at least for now, until better cards come along.
it's sub jobs too, right?
No, just
Is
main
that-
jobs.
Or is it only main jobs?
Main job. Yeah, so basically all of the jobs in the game get classified as a certain weapon type. The sword, specifically for swords, they got classified into 3 different buckets. So there's like sword warrior, there's sword red mage, and sword knight. Same thing for staffs. They got classified into 2 different buckets just because there's so many of those units. So there's staff A, which is black mage, and staff B, which is devout.
So is Chunok's main job? He was fencer, right?
So he's a ninja blade. No. He's
No,
a
no.
warrior.
He's a warrior.
Yeah.
But he didn't used to be a warrior, right?
So he technically always was once they put this change to his weapon type.
But before he was a fencer, right?
I don't
For
know.
his primary job
Yeah,
He
his
still
job
is.
is a duelist.
or
That- it's-
duelist. Yeah, the same one as the Earth one, right? The Earth Leela, is it Leela?
Yeah, Halloween Fred, I think you're thinking of. They have a similar
Halloween
job.
Fred. There we go.
Yeah, those main jobs haven't changed. It's just that they fall into a bucket, and so the main jobs haven't changed names or anything like that. It's just how they get grouped, and yeah, Chunak is part of this.
Their symbols are going to be different, right? So, like, instead of the duelist
Yeah.
symbol, it would be. Oh my god, that's going to confuse the shit out of me.
It's
So, like, on
struggled
their-
with that.
on their like avatar, they'll use that little yellow sword that you see there, like in the top left. They'll have that symbol on their on their page. So
It's tough. That I know for us forever, it took a long time to like memorize and remember which category of sword. But it's really just the sword and the staff. Everything else is pretty straightforward, but sword is tough because you got to remember which category they're part of. But even then, there's
yeah,
been less units released nowadays in these like 2 out of the 3 sword categories. It was sword red mage for a long time, like boom, 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 like units coming out. But yeah,
It's interesting that bow isn't on the same VC as guns.
don't even get us started. We hate that. We had a major complaint
yeah.
on that because that class is not nearly strong enough to separate those units into 2 different buckets. Like missiles been very bad for a long time here.
Yeah.
And let me guess, Mace is gonna not be on cards that are magic.
Oh no, they are. Mace is all basically all magic. Or no, that's an exaggeration, but Mace is on many cards. They do skew magic oriented though. Mace went through a little bit of a meta last year with a lot of really good Mace units coming out, and even just now in Kayshawn's league, which is like a draft league, like make your own team and fight each other. Our Champions League, it was a mono Mace team, the dude that won it all. So like Mace has some good cornerstone pieces.
Whoa.
Yeah, yep. I think it's on the downtrend, but had its time.
Well,
Still,
Greatsword is meta right now, right?
Greatsword is disgustingly good.
It
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Like, yes. That's a whole nother topic on whether or not they went overkill on the great swords or not, right? But I know. Oh yeah, we'll just transition to some of the next couple things. So realistically, it's just Dark Titan coming out here this week for really like new content other than the raid. That we're getting this vision card that overlaps both ice and earth. Obviously, this is a lot user friendly and easier to digest in your party making. Ice and earth already does have the overlap of Dark Golem, which is the AOE resistance. So this gives them the unit resistance. This is also a defense pen and HP of 20%. So obviously a little blend of survivability and some offensive upside there with the defense pen. You know, I think the vision card here is really nice. We have that new Isoldoa unit that just came out that is a very strong tank. And so when you consider Mont, who's the new Earth unit, there is some really good overlap there. And obviously it existed anyway because of the elements that, yeah, I like the synergy of the two of them. But uh, we'll talk about our thoughts of this overall. But JB, anything else about the card in particular for you?
I thought it was interesting that, because this is not a hollow card, we can immediately Elder Awaken it,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is get like the bonus stats on there.
I'm sorry, what?
So Elder Awakening is like this new, you could level up the vision cards basically. Anything that's not a hollow card, you're able to do that. So all of those old VCs from year 1, 2, and 3, we're able to get those new resources to basically just give them another star, and they get
Is it
some additional.
only base stats?
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
and then it does increase their sub slot efficiency. So like if it was 60% before, it becomes 70%, something along those lines.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Being real though, it's actually relatively minor. Like I try to do some stat analysis on like the actual like impact of it because obviously everyone's like concerned. Oh, there's new power creep. Oh, I don't have the materials to waken it up. It's too expensive. But honestly, I don't think it's a major form of power creep. I really just think it's a little bit of love that they're giving to some of these cards. But it's definitely appreciated. I'm a fan of them being able to upgrade some of the older things, even if it's not amazing. The fact that they're putting the time and effort into it, certainly nice that it's not just thrown in the garbage.
What do you need to elder it?
So it's one potion, but it costs what 175 Mog medals in the Vision Card exchange. Like when you have like Vision Card dupes, you get the currency for it. It's basically like a potion, and you just have to just put the potion into it. And
Oh, I can finally use my Mog medals for my VCs and
yes,
just
sir.
buy those and upgrade them.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Don't
So,
go too crazy though, because there's probably a lot of VCs that you missed while you were gone that you can still use some of those for to build them up.
Yep. Agreed.
Mm,
Agreed with that recommendation. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously an excellent card for King Mod. The dexterity helps his crit value. 4 agility is great in the main slot there. A little extra AP. I don't know if that's all that material, quite honestly, but the free defense pen here definitely helps his follow-up attacks from his limit break. All in all, this is an excellent one. I know everyone's really concerned though with Final Fantasy VII Advent Children coming. That I think the consensus at the moment is this is really nice to have. You can obviously go for it if you're really strong on using your King Mont, but This is a permanent pool, vision card and Esper, so if you end up wanting to wait on it, certainly a good strategy. I'm still on the fence myself on whether I go for it. I'm really in saving mode right now.
I know.
Yeah.
We've had a bunch of debates on our Discord on whether this card is necessary. I agree. If you're all in on Mont, and that's going to be if Mont is your guy and you really want to utilize him going forward, this is his best in slot card to kind of take most advantage of him with the ice element. And obviously the Esper is a big part of that too. It's a very
let's
strong.
be honest,
Esper
those Earth unit comp people, they're pretty loyal to Earth.
They are.
Yeah.
And they've been in the dark for a while now. King Bradley at his time last
Sure
year,
have.
Earth has been tough to use for a little while. It's been fine, but not amazing. But to your point on the Esper, this actually is a very good Esper. I mean, it's 18 agility here. It's an attack-oriented Earth Esper from the skill tree, and I was like going this to see like what you can potentially get here. You know, the big I think nodes to focus on here is that you get the 25 human killer. Obviously, that's a staple for just damage, but also his follow-up attack. That's a major part of his damage output there. The Earth attack obviously helps Mont in particular. The big keystone thing, though, of this Esper is the 25% lightning resistance. Right now, the only Esper in the game that has this is Ochu, which is the lower rarity Esper. This is the highest lightning res you can get in the game. We kind of desperately wanted this for a while with lightning meta, so it's a little bit late to the party.
Yeah.
But certainly still welcome. Obviously, you have like your lightning killer. We've said this, the elemental chain res down here in the bottom right. This is kind of a new thing too, Diggs, where a lot of these newer Espers, they've
I thought that was magic resistance. What the fuck is elemental chain resistance?
So it is magic res, but elemental chain res. When you chain someone like multi-hit, you get this is since day one. It's also not new. The multiplier that goes into that chain is based off the weapon chain, so like slash hitting 4 times in a row, but also if you're getting the element multiple times in a row. And so this elemental chain res like reduces the amount of damage in the like elemental part of the chain modifier.
Okay, so it does. Okay, so does it reduce the modifier, or does it reduce the? Is it a reduction in percentage of damage?
Basically percentage, I think you'd say. But
does it sound the way it's worded? It
No.
sounds like it affects the modifier.
Is it modifier? I actually don't even know.
It's the modifier.
Thank you.
Yeah. I remember Diggs made a video about that back in the day when the Lucia raid with the chocolate flans, and he made a chaining video about kind of how the modifiers worked back then.
Yeah, I can't remember what they are, but
basically it's basically like 0.2 or 20 like per hit, and you go up to like 10 hits. So
wasn't it like 1.5 is the cap, or no? Is it more than 1.5?
I believe it's 2.0 for each. Like if you get up to 10 hits, I believe if I'm remembering it correctly.
I'm just gonna pretend I know what I'm talking about and agree with you.
Honestly, I don't know what we're talking about either. I've actually looked into chain math. The math is exceptionally tough to swallow. Like we just approximated at this point. And the
just hit damage cap. Just hit damage cap.
Right, exactly. Just kill him. Just kill him. Easy. We have approximated though that this 25 elemental chain res is not amazing. It's fine, but like probably not something that I'm really focusing on. Whereas most Espers that get this like unique node, and that's what I was trying to say before. A lot of the newer Espers, they give them like a unique node in this bottom right that you don't get on others. Like one of them has defense pen of 20 here in this bottom right. We had another Esper come out that had +5 agility in this one.
Ooh.
We had so they've gone to this trend of giving a unique node, and this is probably one of the weaker unique nodes that they've come out with.
I bet they give you that +5 agility after giving that Esper fucking just base 13 agility.
You'd be surprised they didn't. It's a fast one. I think that Esper is it 21 total, JB, of the Sahagin. If you go
actually that particular Esper Sahagin Prince, you can get him. I think you should be able to get him from the raid. Like, or maybe we can only get it from Raid Revival. I don't know at this point.
Okay, I mean can we just acknowledge that's a sexy fish?
Yes.
He's like one of the enemies in the game.
Yeah.
These Sahagin guys.
Yeah, so they gave him 16 agility, and then the node here is +5, so you get up to 21, which is the fastest Esper in the game technically.
Yeah, but then it's just increased acquired AP though. It's not nothing good there though.
Overall, fair. The units you can put it on, though, not the worst. This actually has
probably really good for like raids and stuff, though, right? With that acquired AP up,
certainly can be.
This one, it's probably the best MR Esper in the game.
I would agree with that.
by far. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to leave now because you just dissed Behemoth.
Oh God,
Behemoth, the
Yeah,
OG.
yeah. Behemoth.
that's a
Okay,
throwback.
I mean that you just literally threw her under the bus, and I think you owe her an apology.
I mean, if you're
this is
going
not bad.
for the dark slash damage, still worthwhile.
I'll take it.
Oh, the best MRS for.
I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, the consensus is tough. Whether or not you end up pulling on Dark Titan, where yeah, if you're all in on Mont, good investment. And I even still hesitant to say investment because you have a lot coming up here. I still think the 2-7 Final Fantasy 7 Hollow Vision cards coming out are like in the must pull category. Obviously, you have a couple of units you want to branch out to there, and not even including the fact that we don't know what's coming after them. Being frank, that like you don't want to go broke too early here, but
Yeah, we haven't seen Sephiroth's
right.
vision card yet.
right,
That's right. You guys have the worldwide version now.
That's true.
We didn't even talk about that. Actually, a
But,
quick
but,
segue.
but isn't the JP version still coming out before?
1 month.
Aren't we still reading the JP WOTV count? Nothing's changed.
We do. Yeah, but we rather than 4 months preview, we have 1 month at this point. And then some of the releases are actually like simultaneous. Like June, we got at the same time. Young Helena, we got at the same time.
Yeah.
So Lucia, we got at the same time. There's been a few units that they've released in tandem.
Yep. Which makes saving nigh impossible because you have a 1 month roadmap and how much Viz for free can you realistically get in 1 month if you spent it on something maybe you would regret. That's why I've gotten a little more conservative lately in my opinions of things where I used to be copium all day and now I'm just a little more realistic of like, hey guys, like this is the speed of power creep is fast enough, the spend is high enough, hollow vision cards have increased costs, reincarnations.
Stay positive.
I am positive. I am positive.
Don't become another Diggs.
No.
Don't get angry and resentful and be like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's just the price of it at this point. Like to stay, if you want to pull everything like we used to be able to do, it costs you a lot of money right now just because the cost of vision cards essentially tripled. And
wait, they tripled? How?
The hollow vision cards, there's no like 10K guaranteed. The rates didn't go up, so I mean you can still luck out and get them.
Isn't that just the same as when they were 100 cost before?
Kind
no,
of.
I mean you
ish.
No, like units. You're talking about 100 cost units or vision cards?
I'm talking about like when Bahamut first came out and he wasn't guaranteed and he was like harder to get. That's basically what all the hollow VCs are then, right?
Yeah, basically. I mean, there is a pity for them though. That's the difference with Bahamut. Like Bahamut had no pity. The pity for hollow cards is 20K essentially.
For a VC?
Yeah. And that's not including all the shards you have to acquire after. Once you pull it, you have to go get the shards in the shop. You can't exchange them right away, and so you're talking another 6,000 Viz for shards or something to that effect.
I'm already working one job. What am I gonna do to play this game?
I know.
So like a lot of players just kind of skip the permanent pool ones. They'll just wait to get them later, and like they'll just maybe get the limited stuff if they can swing it.
Yep. And then for top end play, we talk about this now, but like reincarnation has been a big thing too, where that whole system. Were you around for reincarnation, Diggs? Or is that like new to you, the concept?
I was around for reincarnation, but you all know me, and I'm a bottom end player, so.
No, that's fine, but reincarnation has become a little bit more accessible, but still expensive, and so yeah, that's like another implicit cost to people who are trying to keep.
But I think reincarnation doesn't affect me as much because I was such a fucking whale, candidly, because I have so much shit like still on my account, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Like if I wanted to max reincarnate like a meta team or a meta comp, I could do that immediately if I wanted to.
I believe that. The amount of mind spheres you probably
Unfortunately, we've burned through most of those ourselves already. Our supplies are low.
So you're saying I'm playing the long game right now, and I'm in the advantage currently.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just pick your meta team and gasoline on the fire. Yeah. But no, we will segue to a couple unit upgrades here. We're going to go through these fast because we we want to get to our tier list here for whatever time we have left. But three big MA2s here, Mastery Ability 2s being introduced. One is for Howlet the Heaven's Blade. The big one thing that they're giving for him is an extra 5 AoE resistance. They're getting the extra 10% slash and magic res, which is his niche. He is able to decrease enemy penetrations on those two attack types. So this is one of those things where like it fits his niche in terms of damage types that he specializes against. Obviously helps with perils in terms of not going in negative against any of those, where if you get hit by a minus 38% in peril, it's a lot harder to go negative when you have these better positives. The 15 accuracy, obviously just like a nice little power creep adjustment for him. It's good. I don't think it's amazing, but he's a decent enough unit right now with Oldoa in here that I like what they did. I don't know what if I would have added anything to though. I think it's fine.
Is he
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
a good unit?
he is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. He kind of underwhelmed when he first came out just because ice was not in a good spot at the time. Fire was very strong. But he's aged very well where, he's been very usable with the current meta and over the past few months.
So would you
So if
say
you
I
have him,
made a
he's
would you say I made a mistake choosing Reagan over Howlet?
Ooh, yeah. I think
Yeah.
Howlett's better than Reagan, but Reagan's not awful. But I think Howlett's better than Reagan.
Reagan, he also like aged pretty well where he became like pretty good against the strike meta for a little while, but then we kind of went into this whole magic meta where he just kind of fell off the face of the earth and power creep at this point has kind of gotten to him. So he hasn't really come back.
So like most ice units then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of ice
Yeah.
units are weak to magic.
The big thing for these units, I don't know. I don't think you're wrong. They've introduced this new character effect called auras digs, where like a character will buff themselves, and now they'll in a gigantic diamond around them. This is a very common thing for a tank. They'll just like, for instance, this Isol Doa tank will reduce all physical damage by 40% if you're standing near her. So a lot of these units that had like issues surviving, if they're near this tank, they can get damage reduction just by being near this tank. So a lot of units that
Is it passive or is it an active ability?
you have to activate it
Active.
once, but then it's passive, like it just lingers.
For 4 turns or so, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they essentially have made like the FFBE cover mechanic in War of the Visions. It works, AoE tanking essentially.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, which has helped units like this where a little bit squishier, now all of a sudden a lot more durable. A lot of good value there, but we will keep going here. Dialdo is one which I think is one of the last units that might have come out before you hung up the boots. For him, a couple things here that they're giving him: the healing power of 20, the crit evade of 20. The healing power obviously is nice for all that external healing he gets, but I know he's a giant regen user. Part of his limit break here for his own sustain, so that 20 healing power will certainly help how much he regens per turn. There's a lot of healing power down right now. I don't think it's amazing. I think he also has this healing power buff that like it's part of his kit. I'm glad they have it. I don't think this though is going to really move the needle for him, but they did. Oh, go ahead.
Has regen ever been good?
It's gotten better. Believe it or not, a lot of people have been using regen.
Good enough to use Dialdo or no?
Dialdo he's still usable, but he's not like a meta pick anymore. He was for a while.
They did give him a nice upgrade here, though. They're upgrading his, as part of this MA2, upgrading one of his abilities here. And the big one here, it's been a little while, but for himself, he's getting this new AoE mechanic we were just talking about before, where the wider the AoE, he'll reduce it by up to 35% damage. That's certainly a nice modern survivability mechanic for him that he didn't have before. So I will give this a thumbs up.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a nice one for him. The problem, like with any of these older tanks, is that they don't have those auras, and Dialdo included. And more it feels like it's kind of almost like a wasted slot. Like they're just kind of hate only, and they don't have a lot else that they're bringing to the table. Dialdo at least still does have like some decent utility. He's got a re-raise remove, and he's got his dispel and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know if it's good enough that I would use him over, like a Oldoa or a Glassy at this point.
Yep. Agreed. And the other one here is part of the Oh God, what's the game mode called? The
Ooh, selection
Selection
quest.
Quest. Thank you. Dia getting an upgrade here, and
No
her.
problem.
Thank you.
WOTV
Right,
for 20
boom,
years, you know.
knowledge bomb. Hers is twofold. She's getting an extra 20 spirit penetration permanently, so going from the 10 to the 30. The other thing here is the just permanent reduced magical damage by 10%, just flat out all magic damage. And that's not just magic a type attacks. That's like magic scaling slash attacks like Starlight Elena. That's considered magic damage. So nice for the survivability. I wish there was more, quite honestly, but
I kind of like it. I mean, this is just an MR unit. Like she's a free unit from like the events or whatever. So she's always been much better against physical damage than magical damage because she has that barrier and her resistances are generally tied more on the physical direction.
yeah,
Doesn't she have a
But
multi-hit as well? For like right there. Yeah.
it does.
she does, yeah.
It was a good PVE unit. Yep.
So maybe could be useful in that Ifrit raid as well. But yeah, I
Actually,
think this
true.
is fine. Like, you know, she's a good 50 cost unit, and yeah, she got a little bit better.
Agreed. Agreed. And then the last thing here are these 3 limit break upgrades. It's for Garvel, for Chunak. So good timing, Diggs. He's getting a limit break upgrade this week, which actually should help with PVE content, so far as I can tell. But for now, give me 5 minutes. Let me just read this ability real quick, and then I'll stop kidding.
Lord have mercy.
So in a nutshell, he's getting this decreased AoE resin. This is also Diggs like a new kind of imperil in the game. If you think before, like let's say decrease AoE res, if it was 20, it would just reduce by 20. Boom, 20. If you were 50, now you're at 30. We've used this new term called crush. It's a new kind of imperil where it reduces the number by a percentage. So this 50x means 50%. So it'll take your AoE amount and just reduce it in half if it's 50%. So
Wow.
if you had 80 AoE res, now it's only 40 AoE res. And this has been their way to kind of like combat some of these crazy high numbers that they were getting to, where if you were at 80 AoE res, well, like 20 is not really enough to put a dent in the bucket sometimes. So they go by these like percentage ones to really bring it back down to earth. So
OP.
yeah, it's this is very nice. This is a staple of new units. So nice that he's getting this. This is an AOE technically ability, even though it's a straight line. It hits 4 squares. It's a very necessary magic res pen of 40. Not all units get access to this level of penetration. Older units do, so nice to see that. I think the other thing here, it seals barrier destruction. So he technically has a barrier he can put on himself. This will help it so that this enemy he hits can't break that barrier. It's also re-raised for himself. He can also absorb some of the damage, and it's 20 unit res. There's a lot of good things here, but Garvel is a glass cannon of all glass cannons. That barrier does help a little bit, but the HP level is just so low. And this is
Classic
such
energist.
right, yeah, fucking energist. That's awful. But this this AOE ability too, it is obviously like a little bit difficult lining up exactly. And although it's AOE, it really is kind of like linear in nature. So using this early to really prevent the barrier break, and he's probably already like 25% health with this gets used anyway, if not one shot. Being frank, it's honestly a good limit break upgrade, but Garvel's just old.
And I think wasn't Shinnok's LB multi-hit, or am I wrong there?
It is.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, Chunax definitely is a 3-hitter if I remember right. For this one though, like for an 80 cost unit, like this is like a really nice upgrade. So for if you can work him into any kind of cost limited situation, it's pretty nice. He did actually get a range increase on this as well,
Oh, thank you.
where it went
Yes.
from 4
Ooh.
to 5.
Yep.
So range like is like not a strength for him, or at least it wasn't in the past. They have kind of addressed that over time.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a lot of nice effects here in one. So
Yeah.
I kind of like this for the draft league. Maybe
Yeah.
if we ever get that WDL season 4.
I like it. Yeah, this is definitely a good one. Just he's obviously a more difficult unit to use than previously.
Power
But
crept.
we will get to Chunak next, who we've been talking about up this whole time. And yes, it is a triple hit ability. It's getting a nice AP reduction, going from the 43 down to 28,
Ooh.
right? That obviously makes it a lot easier to use. Nothing changing in terms of the range here, but the big things are that it now will have a significantly higher chance to inflict poison, 67%. And then if that person is poisoned, it's also this is also Diggs. Welcome back to War of the Visions. A newer mechanic introduced. This crit damage resistance is basically if you get if this is a crit hit, this will
It's
amplify.
just another modifier. It's another modifier stacked onto,
It's actually not. It's a total
right?
percent change. Believe it or not, this will increase the
It
damage
works
by
more
twenty
like an
percent.
imperil,
Yeah, but it
Really?
yeah
but only it's works like an imperil, but only if you're critting is when this will work.
correct.
So it
And they
yeah.
have
So
to
if
be
you,
poisoned.
Per this
So so
language.
so Chu knocks out.
No,
I
if I don't.
yeah I don't. Sometimes like the wording on this is correct and sometimes it's not. So I don't know
Oh, really?
if this will. I don't know if it's reliant on the poison or not. I mean, there have been imperils in the past that do. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. But yeah, it could go the other way as well.
Yeah, I would tend to think this bottom one is likely the one that's incorrectly labeled because this is decrease AP for 3 turns if the target has like. I don't think that's true. I think this is likely that for
Because it
three.
looks like a self buff, right?
Right, I think this is for 3 turns. Chunak will reduce the AP by 20, and this whole rest of the sentence is likely inaccurate. Um, you know, I don't mind this for.
Uh,
Oh, good.
that one I'm not sure about either because that almost sounds like it's a frostbite kind of effect. Where
Oh,
it's like
Oh,
the unit will lose 20 AP for 3 turns in a row, which would be really interesting because we haven't seen that anything like that
no,
before.
I like it.
Um,
stealth.
but it could also be that he's imbuing his attack that
That's what I
his next
thought.
3 hits he'll just siphon it away. I don't know. These translations are getting like screwier and screwier these days, so
Yeah.
it's like a guessing game.
It is, but I like it. Honestly, I don't know what else he would have added to his kit. It kind of fits for me where he's a high crit oriented unit. This certainly helps that from a damage perspective. Obviously, being single target, it kind of hurts a little bit. Only hitting one enemy doesn't feel very good nowadays. But I guess if you were in PVE content, if you could poison that boss, sure, that's some extra damage for him. Overall, not the worst.
Yeah, I mean it's
Not
great
the
for
best either.
PvE either way because
Yeah,
it still has the unit resistant peril that it always had,
correct.
which was always exceptional for that stuff. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
he'll be good again. He'll be good in the raid for sure.
You will. And the last one here is you're right. Let me get my glasses. 1 second, guys. Hold on. Okay.
Why?
Um,
Why?
so she formerly it was a general dispel. It's still a general dispel. This one is also getting, and it was an AP restore. It's still staying in AP restore. This will. God, what is the sentence right here though? I think this is wrong.
So she's going to be getting.
Is this the celebratory Jaden effect?
I don't think so. It's just always puts these conditional things
Yeah,
in
it's
here.
conditional because it says it has to have the ignore fatal or the AP restore on them,
But
right?
what's
So it's conditional that the enemy has that on them, right?
but what's this part? Increased chance of being targeted for target. What does that even mean?
Is that the
Yeah,
provoke? That has to be provoke, right?
the increased chance of target is that Jaden effect.
If that's it, then that's sick. What this means is it will
Yeah.
bring that unit's hate to 0. This gets significantly better if that's
Oh,
true. That was been my always biggest hang up on this is being a single target limit break. The dispel's fine, but like it's just whatever. That's big though. If she can bring a unit's hate to 0, in my opinion. She's not
wait,
amazing, but big
uh,
upgrade.
what does hate mean in the context that you're using it right now?
So like when you buff, like chance of being targeted, that's hate. So if increased chance of being
Like
targeted,
Right, but like, is it AI priority to buff the unit, or is it AI priority for the enemy to attack?
both, both.
yeah.
So, but then does that mean hate is dictated by other things in the game besides this ability?
Yes.
Yeah, so like your tanks will have like their starting hate and they'll buff it, additional hate. I'm
Right,
sure
but there's not an in-depth hate system then wherein like if we had like 5 units and one of them had that ability would effectively do nothing except have right if there was no other hate buffs on the other units.
correct. Like if she hit somebody that didn't have any hate or was 0 already, that particular part of the effect does nothing. Um,
So they haven't
but
implemented like a healer heals a unit and that healer has hate.
No.
cor-
Correct.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
That hasn't changed. It's still like pretty much tanks only at this
Right.
point.
Right. And there is a mechanic, like if you attack an enemy, you generate a little bit of hate yourself, but the healing has nothing to do with that. Um, but yeah, that's actually good to go over. This is a major part of this limit break if that's the case. But the rest of it is the AoE wide resistance of 35% for 3 turns. I like this. She's got terrible AoE resistance. I mean, I won't say that because she does, I think, have some innately. At least that's what it was. But
Yeah, she has it on the passive. So yeah, she gets the wide res and then also a 20% physical reduction as well. So actually a pretty
no,
solid upgrade
it,
for her.
is this increase? I think it's a damage increase for her. No.
Damage increase. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. That's.
So we're just straight up giving units 20% damage up, huh?
Yeah. It is dispellable though. If she gets hit with dispel, like this limit break, see here this dispel physical damage increase. That's what that is. So there is a fair amount of counterplay to it. But yeah, that is a route they're going. And honestly, this limit break got way better if this sentence is true that she can dispel the hate. That's enormous. Wait. Maybe not as enormous as I think it is because she's already dispelling it anyway with the general dispel. This to me is good though for those units that have the innate hate though, right? Like if you have a tank,
Yeah.
I just brought up King Mont, starts off with 5, and he buffs himself for let's say 12 more. This dispel will take away the 12, but he'll still have the 5. This though will remove that innate 5 to 0, so that.
Oh, that explains. So it's an anti-tank. It's an anti-tank LB.
Yeah, which as a single target, they're most likely to hit the tank because of how hate works. So this works really well in that regard. I actually like this one a lot. I just know her survivability is relatively poor, and she's been decently power crept, but and I just used her in the WDL, and she was getting blown to smithereens by a lot of
Don't
stuff.
worry, I'm sure those Earth unit users are hyped for the Dialdo buff and hyped for this LB buff.
This is a good LB buff,
I'm sure they're gonna make some type of comp work with it.
We'll do not doubt it. Do not doubt it. But that's virtually all we wanted to cover for update content. I will say though, we're at an hour and 10. It's 10:30. We did want to do our tier list, so we might have to cruise through this a little bit, but we will attempt to do the tier list that we teased earlier on. And the tier list that we're going to put Diggs up to the test to is, since he's been gone, we're going to rank the appearance of all the characters that have come out. Their outfits, their face, if you want.
Some of them are pretty shit.
Yeah, whatever. If you love them or hate them, we're gonna roast them here. So so
this was like in the Diggs tradition. Like I'm sure you have to remember all of your, waifu tier lists and dumpster tier lists and all this stuff. So I thought this would be kind of a good kind of
I'm about
ode
to
to those days.
Is what's gonna happen. The fucking chat's gonna turn on me like a fucking rabid animal here any second.
Don't worry.
Yeah, very reactionary. We can just blast through these.
Yeah,
mods, get ready.
Chat's very nice. Trust me. 2 weeks ago, I said that I didn't like I didn't like Ramada's design at all, and I haven't been DDoSed yet.
Is
so
wrong with you?
they've been very nice.
Is wrong with you?
Yeah, I passed that test. You'll be fine tonight. But
all the water mains gotta rise up.
Right? Fucking you think I don't have Chunok leveled? Bitch. Chunok.
Chunok, and you go way back.
We've converted another water main, JB. Congrats. Another water main added to the ranks.
I fucking maxed Chunok the first day I pulled him.
I love it. But I will say, I got to get a couple things set up. It's going to take me 1 minute just to get this going. So for the viewer, we're not going anywhere, guys. But for the viewers, I am going to give a little be right back screen here for y'all. At least so I can get the screens that I needed. And it won't take us long.
If you don't mind, Will, I'd like to read a comment from chat from one of your viewers. His name is Manta. He says you're still disowned for the Ramada comment.
I'm in the doghouse. I know.
Manta is putting you on blast.
Rightfully so. I know I made everyone angry with that.
Brian says my water game is weak, and Brian, I just want you to know it's okay to have a weak water game as long as your squirting game is on point.
No innuendo there.
No.
Okay.
I mean, that's an S tier. I know chat can't see, but I already know my S tier.
Right? Does this
Pay
work?
no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Right. Let me. I'm going back live for a second, guys. So get. Does this work? All right. We got cameras working. One sec. My overlay is now. Hold on, guys.
Everybody, I'd like to take this moment to announce Ready Player Will, JB, and mine's new sponsor, Rogaine, for middle-aged men that are getting graying hair. I have it too. I use it. You notice the difference between my hair and Will's and JB's right now? Rogaine. Rogaine, if you want to reach out and support me and really help out, all of us guys out there, let me know. Let me know. We're right here waiting for you.
I love it. I don't mind the gray as long as the gray's in the right spot. My girlfriend's very happy that I got like the Doctor Strange gray coming in here on like the
dude,
the temples.
I mean, can we just all acknowledge like we're all gonna be fucking silver foxes? Like it's gonna happen.
No doubt, no doubt.
I'm already well on my way.
But I think everyone can see on my screen now. We are going to go through one by one. We're going to start, and I'm not going to actively show the tier list. JB is going to help me out here. He's going to actively move them through the tier, and we'll revisit this tier list back and forth at once we kind of get through most of it. But we will go individually through all these units.
The Since You've Been Gone tier list.
The Since You've Been
aptly
Gone.
named.
I'm ready for this. I'm fully ready.
Full credit to JB for this very creative idea. I'm loving it. So this one is Pickle Rick. I mean Dialdo. This is unit number 1. Go ahead and give us a grade on a scale of.
Yeah, we're gonna go B tier. Oh, sorry, there's only S, A, B, and C. Let's do A tier because
there is also a trash tier as well.
Yep.
So
I think unless there's been no new Ayaka units, I don't know that we will be putting anything in trash tier. We'll have to see. But Dialdo has a very unique design, and for that, I'm going to put him in A. Because if you think about the War of the Vision character art, not all units are unique like this.
Fair analysis.
The crystal formations going on.
C tier.
Lena, go in C.
No. There's
Lena.
no mole on the thigh, not enough breast. I mean, this is just all around like... I mean, we already have Joom. We don't need more good girls.
Jumas is satisfied. I like it. So going into C tier.
I mean, it's true. It's true. Again,
I think if Maraxis is in our chat, I think he's on suicide watch right now after that disparagement of Lena.
Bart's. I mean, this is Bart's, right? Am I losing it?
It is Bart's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is Bart's.
Okay.
The turquoise tank top. It's
no, like I mean, if it was chest up, it would be A tier. This is gonna be B tier though.
B tier.
Fair. Faris, our favorite pirate of the
S tier. This interpretation of Faris is absolutely fantastic, and it really, what's interesting is it captures the style, but it's also like it almost seems like Final Fantasy VI art, if I'm honest with you. Like looking at it, like I would not expect Faris to be this beautiful.
I'll give you that.
It's very like Bigger Bros.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Like it's definitely an interpretation of Faris that I really enjoy.
Can I give an honorable shout out to Faris too? In game, I've been meaning to say this. The voice actress. If you guys don't listen to her, the Japanese voice actress for Faris is exceptional. When I listen to these replays and I hear Faris like yelling in the battlefield, bro, like I'm amped. Huge props. Legit. Raph.
No, I mean this is War of the Visions has a problem. And the problem is sometimes they like to do like spiky emo dark characters that don't look interesting. Like this, like if you look at this art, this is literally reminiscent of Stern. This is reminiscent of Hyo, right? Like there's so many other characters that are like this. I mean, yeah, the thighs are cool, but I mean, look at that hair. It's boring. Purple's kind of an ugly color. I've seen this character for a long time because of the Warrior of Darkness, right?
Yep.
And just not interested.
Just walked out of Hot Topic.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, okay. You know what? I'll even say it. You can put her in dumpster.
Oh, hot
oh,
take.
I don't even know her name. What's her name?
JP in
Raph.
shambles. JP loves this
Okay.
character.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
like
Well,
Japan, not
I mean,
JB.
I think JP had. JP. JP. JB, I would think you and I have had better taste than this. So,
Oh no, this is definitely not one of my favorites.
No. Jaden the Celebrated.
B tier. I mean, Jaden's obviously hot, but we all know Summer Jaden was put in the game for me. So,
Yep.
I mean, if there's no nipples, I mean, it's just a downgrade, right?
That's true. Objectively speaking.
Okay.
Nipples.
Oh. Okay, I'll actually say this is very tasteful, and I know the community's love for Glaciella. I'm actually gonna put it in S tier because even for me, like, you have to understand my perspective. Like, it's not egregious fan service. There is a little bit of a homage to Laswell with the umbrella as well, I think, and the color scheme. So I think there might be a little bit something going on there. It's just overall, pretty good.
Good old Summer Laswell from FFBE.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the umbrella.
That's amazing. Amazing. How about Bridal Elia?
Trash.
Ooh, good opinion. Yeah, well, I think.
Yeah, I don't know why I would ever want a bridal unit.
I'll give you that.
I also just don't like her regular unit either.
Same.
I mean, okay, hold on. Wait, she's a good unit, but style-wise, we hate it.
The art does nothing for me too. I agree.
And this particular unit absolutely broke the game.
Yeah, we hate her.
Oh, I'm
literally.
sorry. I'm sorry.
There's a bias in our head that hates her innately. Just seeing her makes you angry. Like there's nothing. You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
you
literally
can't
just
shake
seeing
that.
her makes me angry, so I don't think you're wrong.
right. Shal's Goat Girl from Monty Python.
It depends. Is this bad Shals or is this the good Shals?
This is the evil one, right? Canonically, I think.
I think Shells is the evil one. I think.
Oh my god, you guys don't even know if it's the evil or the good one?
No, I think it's the evil
I
one.
don't
It
know.
matters.
No, it
matters.
does. It does. These horns are the devil horns. This is the evil one.
Okay, hold on. Wait, before we make so if she is the evil one, hold on. It's very important. Can we see her shoes?
Yeah. Those are JC Penney. You can find those.
Well, but can you imagine them stepping on you? That's the question I would ask. Like, if you were on the ground, right, and she was stepping on you, or if you had the choice to have Helena stepping on you, I think obviously we would all choose Black Rose, like in a heartbeat. So I mean, again, like C tier. She just does everything worse than Black Rose Helena.
Give it to you.
I agree with that.
This is actually one of my favorite characters and designs.
Will is the biggest simp for this character.
Love this
Yeah.
character. Yeah, exceptional.
Yeah, and I actually love his character in the story too.
Yep.
Even though I haven't gotten to like the full expose of his character yet, I like granted he's stuck with Elia, that fucking bitch, for a little while, but he's still one of like the coolest, moodiest. Like as long as you get any type of guts character that shows up, like in armor, that's like, I mean, look at us, we're all middle aged.
Yep. Facts.
Fuck.
Oh no, yeah, that's daddy. That's definitely S tier.
S tier.
S tier.
I like it. Squall.
I like this rendition of Squall. Actually, I'll put it in A tier.
Solid.
Yeah.
Renoa.
Renoa, again, I would say it's a quality rendition of her. And sometimes Renoa doesn't always look the best in all of the games that she's been in. Her sprite work in FFBE, for example, was amazing. I'd be curious about her abilities, if her abilities matched kind of what FFBE's abilities did, because she was very thematic in FFBE when you used her. So I'm gonna say B tier.
I like it. You know what? Ironically, I wouldn't say she's thematic at all in War of the Vision. She's like a haste-oriented unit, and and her AI is very like offensive sometimes. And there's no dog. Angelo doesn't exist, so no.
Yeah. So let's B tier her.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
put her down there.
the big miss. No doggo.
How in her limit break
I
they didn't
didn't
put
even think about
Angelo?
that.
I don't understand. Her limit break literally is Angelo in the game. How could you not bring that in? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
What are they thinking?
Next is Irvine.
So I actually like that they did Irvine because it's a different character than you would expect from a Final Fantasy VIII collaboration. Granted, FFBE did have Irvine, but he was in not, I don't believe, maybe in a later version, he was higher rarity, but I believe he was the lower rarity.
Yep.
In FFBE, like you couldn't get him to the top star awakening or whatever it was. So I've always loved Irving. So I mean, I would put him in A tier just because it's different. They're doing something kind of innovative, which other mobile games haven't done. So,
Yep.
We tried so hard to make him good too.
I know. I keep
No,
trying. I still keep trying.
We wanted him to be good.
He's so
Unfortunately, all missile units are just in a bad place
I
right now.
feel like being War of the Visions, we have a certain loyalty to men with guns that resemble Mustadio. So I also think we have to respect that.
Yes. Yes. In hindsight, I was really hoping for Laguna when they came out as him as the missile unit, but in hindsight, because of how bad Irvine turned out, very happy it was not Laguna. Well, I'll wait for the next rerun.
And shout out to Greats in chat right now who's like, oh, they missed out on Zell. They do Zell all the time, and Zell gets done dirty a lot. Like he gets done and then he doesn't get done good. So switching it up to Irvine is actually pretty nice.
I agree. Good call out. I'll keep it moving here. Soul from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
This was such a cool rendition, I thought.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's unique. I just never loved Soul from Brave Exvius. Like I didn't really like his story, like as like the main villain turned like semi good guy in the following season.
Remember appearance, character. This is a tier list on appearances.
Yeah, but I'm biased and fair. Like he comes from FFBE, so like I think about his sprite work from FFBE being ugly. But when I'm looking at this just now, yes, it's unique for War of the Visions. Do I think it's incredible? A tier, maybe B tier. B tier, yeah.
B tier. All right.
I'll just say I've seen this artwork a lot. I've never noticed the galaxy pattern in his cloak. I actually like that. That's a nice touch.
I mean, maybe if he had a little bit more Tenga Topin Gurren Lagann in his cloak, I would be happy. But
I love it. Well, we're halfway there, so we'll keep rolling on through here. Halloween Lucio, Alucard, basically.
Yeah, I would say S tier.
Good move there.
Although this has the same problem that Raph has and Stern has, where like it's throwing black on a unit and then making it look like a bat almost, and like flowing cape. But I do like the vampire units. I actually have this unit because I like started playing when this was going on, and I pulled for him and I got him. And I like his in-game art as well.
He's excellent.
He's such a good unit.
He is.
Yeah.
Gurn's back.
Please. I think we all know what position this man is in.
It's either S or trash. I can't tell.
I mean, if I can put it above S, it would be above S. If I can love me, because like, first of all, Dragoons are fucking amazing, right?
Yeah, I will agree with you.
But like, this interpretation of the Dragoon is next level cool. Like, I think about the coolest Dragoon I've ever seen is probably the Dragoons in Final Fantasy 14 when they're rendered in like cinematics and stuff.
Yes.
But this is like that, except combining the old style with the unique WOTV style and a cool character and a cool helmet. It just looks awesome. His helmet looks like Behemoth. Like it looks like he fucking slayed Behemoth and made a helmet out of it.
Got a little bit of that nod to Kane as well.
Good take.
Yeah, and shout out to Hybrid in chat because I didn't even think about this, but totally true. Male Roberta, 100%. 100% this is a male Roberta.
Yep.
I think the only thing we're missing is the Wyrm. Like, for me,
it's on his spear there. Kind of got like the little red dragon.
True. I grew up playing Final Fantasy 11 where Dragoons always have a Wyrm or a dragon with them. And so I always imagine Dragoons with a dragon.
I like it. That's thematically.
This was another character we wanted so badly to be good, and unfortunately hasn't been.
Very bad.
It's okay. He's S tier still.
Brings us to Melnia.
I mean, okay, let's look at the shoes. Yeah.
Have you seen her limit break animation?
She
No.
actually steps
Wait,
on
wait,
you in the
wait, wait, wait.
Ludicrous.
I was gonna say, hold on.
No.
Hold on.
Of course she does.
Hold on.
Of course she does.
Wait. Sorry, guys. We can't. There we go. Oops.
Of course, it's gonna be Bastia's new type. Of course, it's his video. The amount of videos I've used from him in my
Yeah,
videos.
Diggs, you haven't seen this? This is her limit break.
I mean,
Hold on.
oh, I mean, if that's not S tier, I mean, let's be honest. That's giving the people what they want, right? Like,
I've come to like. I like.
it's given them what they want.
Come to like this character a lot more lately.
Yeah.
Then, Asterisk of the Past. This is like the second rendition of him from the
S
old.
tier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am a sucker for anytime I see armor in a style that's different than what we've traditionally seen in Final Fantasy, that has either good schematic or good visuals to it. And this is a very like unique. I'm gonna guess this is Astrius, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Cool
think
sword too.
to be honest with you, the only thing that I kind of hate about this is Astrius. Like I almost wish there was a different face, because when you look at the faces in WOTV, some of the WOTV men, especially if they have blonde hair, like Mont looks similar to this, right? Like young Mont looks similar to this. Like they all kind of start to blend together with their faces sometimes.
That's fair.
Whereas you have like Gurn's back and these other characters who actually look unique in their faces. So I feel like Astrius's face here is like if I could just cover up the face.
This is a paper bag unit for you. The butterface.
It's like
Yep.
it's the protagonist's face. Like even Rain has a bit of this too, with just like a slightly different haircut.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this looks like this would be a really cool MMO character, except that you just put like a chocobo mask on, like you said, like the paper bag. Like you just like slam it on, and then because you don't like the generic look of your character.
Honestly, the headpiece I abhor. I wish they did something else for a headpiece. This one little whoop is just
Missed opportunity to make an Emperor's hairpin, but
I know,
yes.
I know. But we'll pause here to look at the tier list as it stands, Diggs. This is what we got going. Can I zoom in? Whatever. We'll zoom in later. This is what we had so far. So we are rather heavily
Wait,
distributed.
is there more?
Yes.
I thought that was all of them. Is there still more?
No, there's still more. We'll rapid fire through a bunch of them still, but we very very favorably have a bunch in the S tier so far. That's promising. Only a couple in the trash tier. I think that's okay. If everyone will give me...
I think my gay is showing a little bit since only 2 women are in the S tier.
you just got good taste.
I'm very happy that it's Ferris and Glassy though, because they absolutely belong in the S tier.
Oh, I mean, you just showed an S tier for me. So, oh my God, there's a lot of S tiers in this one.
Oh.
Oh my God. Oh.
Okay.
I feel like I feel like if I say O more, maybe young Sir O will show up. Oh my God, you should throw young Sir O in there. I want to see what young Sir O looks like.
Oh yeah, give me a second. I will do that.
He's gonna be on here.
Wait, he's on there? No way.
Wait, did you put him in there?
Maybe I missed him in the links, but he should be one of them. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. I'm sorry. I thought you said young
he's
Eld.
so cool.
He's amazing. Oop. Why can I? There we go. There we go. We'll save him for last for you.
Oh my God.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Boom. There we go. Okay.
I feel like we need to make some changes to the list. I think we need to keep Melnia, lower the other one, lower Glassy, and then put on this new Helena.
Okay, so you're saying lower Glassy.
Yep.
Okay.
We have too many S tier. I need to start purging some.
Gotcha. Helen has taken over.
The new bar.
Yep.
Actually, that's how JB and I do our tier list. I personally prefer... I know a lot of content creators work their way up to S because it's like the big climax. I prefer to start with S because to me, S is where everything else gets... like trickles down from. You know what I mean? Like...
Oh, there's a new Uldoa too, isn't there?
There is.
Ooh.
It's really good. Way better than the original. Yeah.
Oh, are her thighs better?
Yes. Oh no,
Okay.
no, they're not.
Okay. Okay. Oh, there's O.
Oh, we're spoiling.
There he
Yep,
is. There he is.
we're
There he
pulling
is.
him in. But
Is my
we'll
man.
while you're resizing, we'll keep going here. Helena, young Helena,
Yeah, young Helen is fire. I mean,
SS
S
tier.
tier.
Dude,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
boots
Yeah.
and everything.
Got the
Amazing.
heels. Got everything. Yeah. Got the thigh. I mean, she does again. Like I said, she looks like a bat. Like she had black shit thrown on her. But besides that,
It's pretty.
like it's hot. It's hot.
Exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. All right, so Helena for the S tier. We have Zidane from Final Fantasy IX. Little monkey.
C tier.
Fair.
Oof, C tier.
Fair. Garnet.
C tier.
Oh, yep, that's fair. Yep.
I mean, I'm thinking about this from the perspective of like if you look at like Squall, like he actually looked good, like it was an improvement. This is not an improvement. This is a downgrade. And I don't know what's wrong with her face and hair, but it's wrong.
This is.
What do you think of how they kept kind of like the super deformed kind of look from the game?
What do you mean the super deform?
Well, like maybe not super deformed, but like the proportions are not
more chibi. I like they're
Yeah.
cartoonish.
I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do chibi, you should do chibi. It's definitely interesting, but I think they could have gone cuter. And I also don't think that's her iconic weapon.
I would have to look into that. That's a good point about the weapon. I know
Like,
her
I
hair
don't-
is like 3/4 the way she cuts her hair through the game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel like that's not an iconic weapon that I would think about with her.
That's fair. I love the weapon to be honest, but for her, that's a good call.
Right, it's cute. It's cute, but I don't associate that with Dagger.
Yep. Okay, we'll keep going here. We have Vivi up next. Then have you
See
seen
here.
Vivi's animation in game though? Him walking around.
But we're not rating animation in
No,
game.
we're not.
We're okay.
That's curiosity.
Okay, we're
C tier?
and when I think about is this innovative? Is it different? Is it like Vivi's obviously cool?
Yeah.
There's nothing new here. This
Yep.
is standard Vivi. So C tier.
Yep, I agree with you. That's fair. Well, we have this is
No.
Winter
the
Wrap.
second version of Wrap.
Yeah, the second
Winter
version.
Wrap.
Winter
No.
No.
Those shoes though.
An improvement.
Improvement, but trash. I don't know what the fuck she's wearing. And when like I said, Raph has a problem with her face, and I don't like the crown.
I think it's good. Good call out. Okay. We have young.
So wait, where did so she's in trash or C?
Trash.
Trash. Okay.
We got young Eld coming in here. Daddy Mont. Or yeah,
With the ring.
with the ring.
I'm gonna say C tier. I feel like they could.
I'm
Oh,
shocked.
I feel like they could have done better with the ring or with his armor and his style.
Okay. I'll respect it. This is your tier list. I'll give it to you. I'm surprised.
Yeah, what would you have given him?
I thought S. I thought this is such a cool look with the mullet. I just feel like it's like an underused character model for.
But he looks the same.
No, Eld. He's got a goatee
Okay,
and a ponytail. and-
Imagine you covered the face. Everyone would still know it was Eld.
Well, it's a younger version of himself.
Right.
I don't know if
But,
it would.
like, I feel like people would know it was Elda.
Probably. I just think the outfit. I agree. From an outfit perspective, no improvement from original Eld. It's really the face and the hair. That's what.
Like I feel like they could have done more with the cape, with the ring, or with the armor.
That's fair. You're right. It is almost copy paste now that I really think about it. But okay, all right.
And it kind of looks like Mont too.
It does. I think it's thematically the point. It inherits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, keep going here. Bronwell. A lot of thighs.
Surprisingly good thighs. Probably the best thighs that we've seen of the night. And again, shoes, please. But I also I'm gonna say A tier. But it's also she is for a certain type of man.
Yeah.
And who you
Will
are.
doesn't appreciate the short hair.
The hat and the short hair. There's very few short hair units that I really like, and War Division doesn't have many.
I don't think it has anything to do with the hair. I think it has everything to do with her personality and her nonness.
The hat, we talked about this on last podcast or whatever. The hat kills
Yeah.
me. From this down, amazing. This is like 11 out of 10. And then I see the fucking hat and the hair, and I'm like, goodbye.
No, that's part of the sex appeal, because it's like she's saintly, she's
is.
holy, like.
Oh man, we'll keep going here though. We have the Veritas of the Wind.
Sid.
Wait, is Sid?
Yeah.
Technically,
Sid.
Oh. I'm gonna say C tier.
Oh, surprised.
Oof.
Very surprised. I thought.
Yeah, I feel
yeah.
like they could have done more. I feel like they could have done more.
Intriguing. Okay,
Okay,
all right.
fair.
We'll keep going here. A2.
I'm not interested in getting canceled, so S tier.
Fantastic. Lucio the Luminous.
Really like this. Different, like we had talked about before, like when we were talking about armor sets and stuff. Proportions are off though.
I agree.
Yeah. But also, if you're thinking about Lucio as like a younger character, like technically the proportions might be right, but I feel like there's something with the proportions that are off here, and I don't know what's going on with his left arm.
He gives me Hobbit vibes. You know what it is? For a great sword this big, the hilt is not long enough. And so it makes it look like a Hobbit short sword to me when I see this, because the sword proportions aren't right. And then when you combine it with the fact that he does look kind of compressed, it just like, and then obviously yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say good, but B tier. Like,
Oh, B tier.
I wish he
Okay.
could have been. Yeah, I wish he would have been better.
Yeah, he looks like he's about 5 foot tall.
Which again, I mean, we don't want to alienate the short people in chat.
Yep. 2P.
Again. the angle of the picture is S tier.
Yeah, the thighs do it for me personally.
To be fair, I like this pose. And the Advent Children
Don't pretend that
Tifa.
you're looking at the thighs. Do not pretend. That's where your eyes are drawn to in this piece of art.
They're drawn everywhere. It's very stimulating. No, Tifa, Advent Children, has a similar pose. It looks great. For as much as that character, it seems
Of course, Tifa has a similar pose.
Yep. Oberon the Auspicious.
Actually, I would say A tier. I actually think this is I think this is a beautiful rendition of Oberon. So, and I can see it. Like, thematically, it makes sense.
I like it.
If you thematically, if you look at it, it is representative of the Dragon Kingdom.
Yep. That was Year of the Dragon, so they picked him for that specifically. It worked out nicely.
I mean, it just lines up perfectly. So I would say S tier. Yeah, actually.
Oh,
S
we're
tier, okay.
bumping it up. Okay.
Yeah, I would actually say, because I feel like everything just lines up for it.
Good call out. Nice appreciation. I appreciate it. Yeah. Crystal Shadow Links.
I mean, you guys. This is. Wait, hold on. Is Crystal Shadowlings from back in time, or is it a separate timeline?
Separate timeline. Parallel universe.
Oh. So it's not the actual Shadowlings is still alive.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, S tier. We have to. You can't not. Like, if they're like, when you think about the characters that have made War of the Visions in terms of fan favorites, like Glaciella, Shadowlings, they keep trying to make Mashery iconic, but let's be honest, no way.
I have a soft spot for some Mashery renditions, though. I'll give you that. Veritas of the Water.
Okay.
Garbage.
Oof.
I don't disagree.
Not a fan.
I don't like
Not
the
a
helmet.
fan.
I get like Dr. Seuss vibes from like the.
I don't like all the proportions at all here. And I don't like the staff as much. And like when I think about the Water Veritas, like, I mean, again, I told you I love Nicole, I love Brave Exvius. This is not what I imagine the Water Veritas to be.
Fair. What was the grade again? Do you remember?
Garbage.
Garbage. Okay. I like it. All right, keep
Not
going.
much love for the Veritas so far.
No, no. How about Ketone? This is
It's
the
another
alternate universe Ketone.
iconic one.
I feel like Ketone and Shadowlinks have different levels of ratings because you're not wanting them to step on you. They're a different type of waifu. Like when you're trying to gauge on the waifu scale where they land. Right? So like Ketone is like you're coming home and she's making dinner for you. So I would actually say probably A tier. I feel like there's not enough unique design to make it S tier, but there's something about her eyes and her face that's different, which I really enjoy.
Good call out. I see it. I see it. I like it. Okay, Ketone A tier. This is the new alternate universe Dario.
I'm actually gonna say garbage because not enough has changed on this. For me, like this looks like normal Dario to me.
To be honest, it really does.
Like it literally looks like normal Dario, except he has a samurai sword now.
And he's still a wind element.
And he's still young. Like it I guess maybe he looks a little bit more like his father.
And he falls in love with an Ochu.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
So there's that. He's got that going for him.
What happened to War of the Visions after I left?
Can we laugh
That
at
was the oddest part of that storyline for me.
Very odd. Yeah, I don't know how that.
Yeah, not a fan of this one.
Somebody said farting Ketone in the last. Now I can't unsee it.
Oh man.
All right, so we got Dario. We got Fang next from Final Fantasy 13.
So when we're talking about the main lines, right, and we're talking about improvements versus unimprovements, as well as units that are considered main tier, as well as sub tier, I think Fang is always the most missed opportunity unit out there, and I love this rendition of her. So I would actually say Fang is S tier.
I like it.
I like this rendition quite a bit too.
Me too. Ironically, so when I did my character review, we always take the promotional image, this image, right? Now, we know this image of her, like, sitting, because this is her iconic pose in a lot of promotional artwork, but I always, like, send my character review image to my girlfriend to give, like, a thumbs up, whether it, like, looks good or not. And I use this, she's like, what is that pose? I don't understand. Is she, like, sitting on a toilet? Like, I don't get it. It's like, oh, yeah, to a casual observer, she didn't see the, like, twisted, like, sitting...
Right.
But it is a nice rendition. I do like this. Next one. This is the new Oldoa. So less leggies, more other
I don't
things.
like it. I like my Thunder Thigh Uldoa way more. Like if you're like when you think about uniqueness and vision, right? And you think about Uldoa, am I going to think about this version of Uldoa, or am I going to think about Thunder Thigh's like giant ass sword Uldoa? So I don't like this Uldoa. I would say C.
Valid.
I mean, to be fair, this version of Oldoa is considerably different than the normal storyline one. So
Yeah.
Do you think her personality would make me rate her higher?
Probably not.
I've read that a lot of people like Oldoa more, but I think they weren't like initially all that warm to the character. So personally, that the new storyline made me like her more.
I feel like I loved the original Uldoa so much. Like it's hard for me to like see this Uldoa and be like, oh yeah, this character is gonna be good, you know?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
more serious, more reserved.
Way more serious and reserved.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally different. Yeah. So what was that grade again?
C.
C. Okay, cool. All right, we got a couple more here down stretch. The new June, the Celestial Springtime unit.
I don't know how to feel about this unit. This unit seems pretty like it seems kind of like the wedding unit where I really like don't like it and there's a lot of white, but it's not actually white because she's sitting on like a passive melon color right now. But she's got like it's not a dove, but it looks like a dove on her waist as well. So I don't know. I think I like OG June more. I'm gonna say B tier.
I think valid points. Valid points. We got next up here, Volk. So this is
S tier.
Okay.
What'd you say? S tier?
Yep.
Lilith's
I
brother.
pulled this on a 300 ticket. I saw this character and I immediately knew that they like who they were basically. And knowing the backstory, I feel like it makes sense. It's good. I was able to identify who it was by seeing them.
Yeah, I saw that on your video. Like you immediately were like, "Oh, is this?"
I
Like,
thought
I
it
think
was Lilith at first.
Yeah, you're like, "Is
Yeah.
this a young Lilith?" And then like, "No, this is her brother." And then like you
Right.
kind of went into that
And
whole
then
story.
I fully put it together. I was like, oh,
Cool. New
Yeah,
appreciation.
that was a good moment.
I don't mind it. I rated him top 5 worst hair. I didn't like his hairstyle here, but the outfit, the overall outfit,
I
like.
mean, the hair's ugly. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, but I actually, yeah, I'll say S tier.
Cool. All right, S tier for Volk. This is the Earth Veritas unit. This is Seagart.
I would say S tier.
Oh, okay, yep.
Love
Because when I think about because we were talking about the Veritas's earlier, right? And when I was talking about how the water one wasn't as I had envisioned, this is exactly how I envisioned the Earth Veritas.
Awesome. Makes sense.
Yeah, the shield brings it all together.
Right.
Even the pose of the flowing cape and the hair. This is a very irregular pose for a War of the Visions character, where there's there's a dynamic influence. Most characters are just standing in space.
Well, and I like that they have Sigurd's hair coming out as well.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, I love that art.
Which brings us to the new Mont. This is the Ashen Mont King.
I'm actually gonna say probably B for him. It is a cool design, but again, when we're talking about like slapping black onto someone and then like different renditions of this style of black on a bunch of different characters, whether it's Raph, whether it's other characters in the genre, not this specific black, but it's very much the same. Sword's cool. Evil Mont is cool. Like, I like the idea of Evil Mont, but I feel like they could have done something a little bit different.
Actually, we should have done the helmet version. The helmet version was very cool. I think a lot of people are underwhelmed with the facial
hold
structure.
on. There's a helmet version, because
Yeah.
that could change everything.
Yeah.
That could literally change
One second.
everything.
Where is it?
Ooh.
He's got a really cool voice too when he's got the helmet on.
I'm actually gonna say S tier now, because there's no character like this in War of the Visions at all now. Like what, that helmet really puts it all together.
You can see the disappointment when you get this.
Right. Right. Well, it doesn't look right. But like once you have that helmet in, it completely changes everything.
Yeah.
Very Dark Souls.
Wait, hold on. Arc Blazer in chat, longtime viewer of mine, said that Oldoa has a helmet as well.
Yes.
So hold on, you guys have to show me the Oldoa helmet.
And Ketone does too.
Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. I feel like I've been set up for failure here now. Hold on.
So, sorry guys, just a second. Getting this up for us.
Oh my god, Ketone's completely different.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Boom. This is the Ashen Oldoa OG with the helmet.
Okay, actually, Ashen Oldoa A tier now. Completely changes it for me. And actually scroll down to that weapon too.
Yeah.
That is a really cool weapon now.
There's actually a criticism of this artwork where you could very clearly tell they just like erased the helmet and like stuck a face on it.
Yeah.
Oldoa and Mont are both like guilty of that.
It makes a huge difference. And Ketone changes completely with her helmet. Like that is completely, I would actually say Ketone is S tier now.
When these designs were first released, we were very excited. Like they look amazing.
Yeah, no, they're way cooler with their helmets.
Sorry about that.
I mean, you can put the other S tier up. It's fine.
That's right. Okay. All right. So we'll get to our final character here then, which is unreleased, but we have the artwork that likely is coming at some point. This is Young O, that we're assuming is going to be a lightning unit, likely going to be a katana unit, and all in his glory.
I think it's interesting that he has multiple swords. Does he have multiple swords in his original art?
I don't remember.
Does I imagine the katana storyline is still ongoing, right?
Yes.
It is.
So I wonder if that's a second sword then that he has, because that's the sword is not that sword, right? Because that sword is the lightning one, right? So what sword is that one then?
Wait a minute. So if I had to guess, this sword that he's wielding is the lightning. No, it's different color hilt.
It almost looks like Seymour's sword, I think,
Well, so hold
but
on.
I'm
This
unsure.
this sword that he has in this older artwork is neither. This has the red hilt. Neither
Isn't that
of
his
these.
TMR, which is the legendary one? Hold on, show his TMR.
So Steamar's the lightning sword. It's not the legendary Morn blade.
Isn't his lightning sword the legendary Mornblade or no?
I didn't know. No. The lightning sword is one of the ones I think that forges into the Morn blade. I think you need all 8 of them together.
So the Mornblade is all 8 of them together, but his TMR is one of the 8, right? Lightning katana right there. And it is it in the lore?
No.
No, it's not.
So this is what the.
But that's so I think that's because they had to hide it. Helena had to hide it when he died, right?
Yes. Correct.
Okay, and then pull up Seymour's sword because it looks almost like Seymour's sword. Or it also looks like the water unit sword, right?
Oh, no, Seymour.
No, not Seymour's sword then. What about the water unit that we saw earlier today?
No, Dea definitely not. Yeah.
No.
No.
Because hers is bigger, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, if I had to guess, these are just maybe 2 swords that are just old katanas.
Anyway,
Yeah.
style's amazing. Completely different than anything we've seen in War of the Visions, let's be honest.
Yeah, very dynamic here too.
It's a
with this
goodie.
pose.
It's a goodie. So that, I like the enlargement.
Thank you for making it big.
So then that brings us to our final tier list, which I think is very appropriately done.
And just so we're all clear, Ayaka in the dumpster tier, and we haven't gotten another Ayaka.
No, we've not.
We have
Okay.
not.
Her time came and went. Okay, well, thank you for doing that, Diggs. And I know this went a little bit longer than normal for some, but this is
No,
obviously super fun.
thank
We wanted
you.
to do this. I mean, borrowing anything else on this tier list, I was going to say, wrapping things up, excited to see you here. Nice to chat with you. I know you and I had got to cross paths back with the Justin and Friends streams, which he hasn't done in quite some time. I don't know if that was maybe just not the viewership.
Maybe we need to start doing some Diggs and Friends streams.
Yeah. We're in. I mean, that's basically what we are on the Leonis support. We take that mantle. But
Or on J. You guys are or on J. You guys, let's go.
Let's do it.
When's the last time you guys did a community stream? Christmas, like anniversary? You guys gotta be doing.
There hasn't been anything
right?
like you used to do.
No.
Will and I do like our year-end review. We've done that the last 2 years, and we do that kind of as like a special end of the year thing, kind of looking back. But nobody kind of gets the whole community together like you used to do.
So what I'm saying is, you two are making a commitment to get the whole community together this year, right now, on this stream right now.
All 3 of us? Yeah, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Oh, all 3 of us. I mean, I'll show up. I'll show up if you do the legwork and get. I'll even rope Oron J in for you. I'll get the big fish. Okay.
Orange's been here. He was on. Like
I'm sure he has.
That's actually one of our more fun podcasts. That was like unhinged in the best way. Like we just had so much fun and laughed so much.
Well, I mean, we're all in contact with each other. Like, let's be real, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yep,
we can all find each other in a minute. I think the only person I couldn't find is JB because I haven't seen JB in forever. And except for KT, has KT been on this stream?
KT does a lot of AI stuff, right?
He's a JP player as far as I know, and he kind of just makes look ahead videos for us.
Got it.
He might have a global account, but he mains the JP side. So
Yep, he does do active character reviews. Usually when they announce the character, he'll have like a character review that morning, ready to go. It's super comprehensive. I'm honestly like jealous of like how much he conveys in a short period of time. And here I am like a hot air balloon after 30 minutes doing a character review. Like so much info.
I mean, the AI voice is a good way to do it because you can just type everything out and you don't need to edit it. It's just,
I don't even know how to
good
do
to
an
go.
AI voice.
Me neither.
There's like websites that kind of throw it out for you these days. So
Yep.
I need to get on your level, JB. Yeah, I feel like you got all the toys right now.
I've looked into it a little bit,
Oh
but
yeah, where's Umbra?
We got people saying Umbra.
Yeah, has Umbra been
uh,
around?
I've never talked to Umbra
Never,
before.
never talked Umbra.
So sorry, I wasn't hitting my push to talk, but just so chat knows, Umbra is actually a really hard person to get a hold of. I love Umbra to death, and we're really good friends. He is so hard to get a hold of, though.
Speaking frank,
Busy guy.
I feel like we would have a tough time talking with Umbra because I know content wise we approach the game totally differently in terms of like how we analyze stuff and think through things. Where I think he does more like reactionary things with just like seeing something and he kind of reacts, whereas JB and I do more like analytics, if that makes sense, and like forecasting. So I feel like we would have a lot of awkwardness in how we carry that conversation with each other.
I actually really wanted to meet Umbra in real life because he lived near me,
Oh.
and knew he was back in town. Like I knew he had moved back, come back to Vancouver for like the holidays, like last year. And I tried so hard to get a hold of him, and I could not get a hold of him. Oh man, it would have been fun to meet up.
Did you know
That would've been cool.
JB and I live like half an hour from each other? We still haven't gotten
Where do you
together.
guys live?
We're in Massachusetts.
Okay, so let's be real. Like Oron and Jay
We've
and
been
I,
talking about it for a year and we still haven't made it happen.
Oron, Jay and I were never able to make the hot tub stream happen. So clearly, since you two are so close to each other, maybe another commitment that you can make, like two, you know, reasonably good-looking men sitting in a hot tub and talking War of the Visions.
We can do that.
I don't know about the hot tub, but I'm more than happy to get a beer.
Yeah.
No what? No hot tub. Come on, come on.
we'll just CGI and we'll just
Yeah.
put
It's too cold up here in Boston.
yeah. But yeah, that's all we have for tonight, guys. I will start to wrap it up here. I know it's getting a little later on the East Coast, but big thank you to Diggs for joining us today.
Yes.
Really great chatting with you.
No, thank you
chat
for
more.
inviting me.
Definitely. Obviously, I know your content creation right now. You're still figuring out the brand that you want and still want to figure out the path you want to take. But obviously, everyone's excited to see you and hoping the best for you personally,
Thank
professionally, all of that. So,
Yeah, come find me. Come grab me whenever you want to do shit. Even if I'm not in the War of the Visions community, I can still talk Final Fantasy. Trust me.
I'm surprised how much you were able to pull out from the lore and everything. That's pretty impressive. You know,
That's what I enjoy.
for
Like that's
being
what I
away from the
enjoy
game
about
for
the
this
game.
long. So
yeah.
Like that's like it's not the PvP, and I mean again, that's why like, you know, I feel like everybody loves the PvP except for me in War of the Vision.
It's the PvE's gotten a lot better. The storyline is much more comprehensive. I think it's stalled as of late. It's gotten a little stale with what the Realm Scourge is doing and all that. But I'm very eagerly
What's a
waiting.
Realm Scourge?
Oh,
Oh,
little teaser for your flashback. Keep watching
Yeah.
your flashback.
yeah, that's all introduced in that storyline that you were halfway through.
Finish it.
yeah, I will finish it now.
Yep. Lots to look
Have
forward to.
they released another CGI video outside of Montan Stern fighting? Is it Ultima?
That's the Realm Scourge.
That's the Realm Scourge. Okay,
Yes.
so they haven't released a new CGI since then.
No.
That was the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, they really need to push that forward. That-
Someone in chat asked if I'm going to play Dawn Trail, and the answer is yes, but not on stream.
Do we have 14 fans? I play 14 actively all the time. I've been playing for like 8 years, 10 years. Love it.
What server are you on?
I'm on Fairy on Aether.
Yay.
Oh, Kiwi's saying they released a new CGI this week. Is
What?
that what you're referring to there?
Wait, hold on. If they released a new one, put it on the screen. Let's watch it.
We had a live
How did-
Hold on. Before we end this, we gotta watch this if they released a
There
new
was a
one.
new CGI in the latest story scene. Wait, but is it spoilers?
Oh,
I don't want to spoil
It
the whole
sounds
stream.
like spoiler.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that point in the story, so
I
I'm
haven't
glad I
either.
haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we'll pause. Just because it just came out this week, we won't watch it yet. But
Someone send it to me, and I will watch it and spoil myself, and you can have my reaction live on video. Someone
it.
send the clip to me on Discord right now, please.
I love it. Okay. Well, good. Well, we'll cut things off here. So everyone watching in the chat, really appreciate you sticking around for us. And another very successful and fun episode of the Leonis Report. Looking forward to doing this again next Monday. I don't think there's anything holding us up. with hopefully a whole bunch of new content. Maybe some news about Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. I know that's really due any week now after Dark Titan, right?
Yeah, they announced a live stream that's happening, which they'll obviously put out all the news. That's
Yeah.
going to be next Sunday night, so should be the Final Fantasy Advent Children coming
Yeah.
in.
Maybe we'll do a live
Greatest
reaction to it again.
greatestness, send it to me.
Find it. I love it.
Oh, he found it already. He recorded it.
Excellent.
Nice.
Loyal fans. Well, good. All right, everybody. We'll enjoy the rest of your night. In the meantime, we'll talk to you all soon.
Bye, everybody.